How's it feel? How you doing?
I mean, I love that I have a soundtrack to it.
Yeah. Let the soundtrack inform how you're feeling.
Yeah, it's all the things. It's I can't believe it's actually happening. I have to pinch myself sometimes because it's so hard to like get into even figure out who can greenlight a show, let alone have a season 2. But then, so I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. But also like, I'm like, fuck yeah, it's happening. I'm fucking amazing. I'm doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, I hate the second guessing. Like, stop.
Well, and I feel like one of the things that's been very nice about this second season as well is in the first season, you all put all this time, effort, and energy into making the first season of the show, which was wonderful. Yeah. And then when it was time for the show to come out, you didn't get to do any press for it. You didn't get to celebrate it because timing-wise, it premiered right as the strike began.
Same day.
Right.
We premiered July 13th, and the strike happened July 13th.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
that was wild.
Yeah, it was. And I feel like what's really nice now in season 2 is you kind of get to both like promote season 2, but also get to celebrate and be celebrated in a way that you didn't get to in season 1.
Yeah.
And I think that's really special to be able to sit in front of people like this and talk about
it's so crazy.
The show that you made.
Yeah, because I feel like when I wrote the book Survival of the Thickest, and when it came out, it was COVID. So I couldn't do a book tour. I couldn't do any of that stuff. I would mask up and go into Barnes and Noble, and like they would point to where the book is, and I'd sign it and be like, "Can you tell people that I signed it?" And they're like, "What?" And I put my mask down. I'd be like, "Can you tell? It's me." And they're like, "Okay, bitch." And so I was like in competition with a virus, and now with and then season 1, I was like in competition with capitalism, and I'm just like, okay, I just want to be in competition with myself. You know?
Yeah.
So season 2 feels like the wedding I never got.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is so nice.
There's a part of as season 2 was getting ready to roll out where I feel like there were a lot of headlines about bird flu. So I have to imagine to a certain degree, you were like, not again, no!
I know, there was the norovirus. I'm like, not today, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about season 2, because I feel like, especially even in these first 2 episodes, which, round of applause, who all has seen all of season 2? All right.
What?
Good.
Who hasn't? What do you guys have, jobs?
Well, but I feel like what's interesting about seeing even just these first 2 episodes is as an actor, you are really getting to do a lot. Yeah. And I feel like that's got to be a fun experience to be able to have taken this character and just gotten to feel all of the things. And I wonder if you talk about just the journey of getting to do that.
I think, I remember, Midtown feels like a second home, kind of like the West Village. That's where most of the comedy spaces are. I remember like yesterday on the corner of 45 and 8, passing out flyers for a free comedy show in the basement of a restaurant. And my mom's like, why, Michelle? Because like she worked so hard to send me to school, but I was like, I have to do this and I don't know why.
It's funny because walking over here, there was a guy who was like, hey, you want to see a 7 o'clock comedy show? And I was like, no.
I know. Every time they ask me that, I'm like, do you? But yeah, it's like, it's just doing something for so long and not knowing what the other side's going to be like or how it's going to end. It's just the journey. It's like finding joy and even like the hard parts, like even the barking, what do we call it, barking, when you get people into a comedy club. I would find my liners like, ladies, we got some good comics like performing with no kids and good credit. You want to come and get just like finding the funny and the joy in like any situation. And
it's like finding your voice.
Yeah, finding your voice. Finding your voice, your backbone, your spirit in this crazy thing that you decide to do. And I remember sitting at Renaissance Diner with my friends, writing jokes, talking about like what we want to do if we have the opportunity. And that's really important to speak on it and say it out loud. And because one, you find out who your friends are. Because if they're saying you shouldn't do that or you can't do that, that's not your friend. Because they're telling themselves no, and then they're gonna put that on you. It's just like, no, bitch, do that somewhere else. And 2, you speak on it, so when you finally get in that room and you have that meeting, you can say comfortably, this is what I want to do. How do we do it? You know?
Yeah.
And so by the time, like, I did 20 years of stand-up all over this beautiful country, and you know, told Netflix what I wanted to do, I really meant it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know when I'm going to be given this opportunity again. So, like I just want to let my freak flag fly. So let's go. Like, I would have jumped off a building if they would have let me. I would have been like a big titty Puerto Rican Bruce Willis if they would have been like, that's what Mavis does. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like that's what's really wonderful about seeing this show. I've known you for a while, and I think just even what you were talking about as far as like being a barker, you are finding your own voice to try to connect with people.
Yeah.
And when I look at this show, it is very much your voice, and that is what it feels like is connecting with audiences.
Yeah.
And
I hope.
it is. I'll say this because sometimes Michelle and I have known each other for a while. We sometimes hang out when she has time for me, but we not too long ago we were in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And we went. We were at a bar and we'd had some food, and then we decided to walk through like Bushwick, Brooklyn.
I was like,
to a
he
party.
is so outside. I'm like, are we walking to a party? Okay.
But walking to the party, one of the things that I feel like I was really, as a friend of yours, just really happy about was somebody recognized you as we were walking, and they did the nice thing where they recognized you, but they didn't bother you.
Right.
And they were just like, oh shit, I love your show. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're out here in this space.
I was like, same, my feet hurt. Yeah.
But what I feel like when I think about that moment was it speaks to just how honest your show is, not only of your experience, but presenting a New York experience, because that person felt seen in that moment. They felt like, oh my gosh, Michelle Buteau was here, and it makes sense for her to be here, and like she hangs out in the same space as I hang out. This is amazing, and I feel like that is a true testament to not only the characters that you wrote that are, you know, whether it's you, Khalil, Marley, Peppermint, but also the city itself, and this city that is such a big part of your life.
Yeah, you know, auditioning for so many weird different roles, and it clearly written for a skinny white woman, and I'm like, I'm here. Like, I'd be on the same audition with Nikki Glazer, and I'm like, I don't know what neighborhood this is gonna be, but I guess we'll find out. You know what I mean? You know, it's like I have really tried for way too long to fit a circle in a square, and I'm like, I can't. You know, because I kind of get, when I do auditions, I used to give them 2 takes, one as written, how I thought they wanted it, and the other one, how I would actually say it. Yeah, this is what it looks like when it sits, and this is what it sounds like when it speaks to you. So I'm just like, this is what it is. And, you know, I always booked a job being myself. Yeah. I don't know if that's for everybody. Some people can just really fucking act like someone else. Good for them. But I'm just like, I just gotta do me. And, you know, the characters that I wrote are, you know, actual friends in my life. Cassie knows. They've come to set to see Tasha and Tone play a TV version of themselves.
Did they have a lot of notes?
Yeah, for themselves. They're like,
yes,
I gotta buy better shoes. I'm like, yeah, you do. These are TV shows, though. You know what I mean? They're always fucking new. But like, yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's like the people who are, I find, truly the most talented are always the most happy for you. And they want to collaborate, right? So, like, my friends are fucking awesome. They love the people I work with. That's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I just, even, like, the DPs and the camera people and, like, the guest stars that would come and play for a day or two, it's like, this is supposed to be fun. If it's not fun, go somewhere else.
Well, and you've done a really nice job of creating a space that both with people that you knew, that you wanted to give a platform to, and I wonder if you might talk a little bit about that, as well as some of the stuff you've done behind the scenes on the show,
Right.
as far as trying to create a space that is comfortable for everybody.
Right. It's so wild. Like, working with your friends is a weird thing to navigate sometimes, but if it's good, it fucking pops. And that's why they have chemistry reads, because it's like a date. You got to get there in 2.2 seconds. Some people don't like each other. They don't like each other's smell, the way they speak. A little spit comes out of their mouth. They're like, oh, no, 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 no. You know what I mean? Like, they
That feels
can't
like a
even fake the
personal attack.
I know. I never want to put my mouth too close to a microphone, because one time my mouth hit the mic at comics back in the day, and I was like, ah! It was so crazy. I almost folded like a fitted sheet. And then there was a piece of rice on my lip, but I didn't have rice for dinner. Y'all, comedy is hard. I am my own hero, okay? It was my own episode of Fear Factor in front of an audience. Anyway, getting back to the story at hand, working with your friends is very fun. Working with Tone has been amazing because I've known him for close to 20 years in comedy. And so when people are like, oh, wow, it seems like you guys are real friends, it's because we are, right? That's really rare, is very special. Do it if you can. When people, producers, casting, everybody at Netflix is like, I have an idea for Khalil. You listen to everybody's idea, because you never know. You can hit it off with somebody right away. But also, it's okay to speak up for yourself and say, I would like to see these 5 people too. I think this should go this way too. Because people ultimately say, like, this is your show. We want you to be happy. And it's just like, I believe you then. Let's make me happy. And I feel like being married really taught me that, because I'm like, you keep saying this, that you want this from me, but I have to want it for myself. So I used to do that thing where I'm like, I'm a car, but I'm not fucking okay. And I know it can be better. And I'm like, if I get the chance to do that again, I'm going to make it fucking better. And I'm so glad I get the chance to make it better, because I think you can tell. Also,
yeah, behind the scenes too.
Behind the scenes, yeah. I mean, the TV sets and shit and the films and stuff. I'm just like, where we at? Like, I go into a makeup trailer. I'm like, I don't want to hear that you have a grandchild that's half black, so you know what to do with my skin. I'm so sorry, Susie. I don't want to hear that story. Yeah. Her name is not Susie, but look. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this is it's like the for us by us, and no matter who that is, I want to try to at least accommodate, And it was really so fun to say, we're gonna fuck this shit up and have a very diverse cast and crew. So over 70% of our heads of department are female and or queer, and yeah. It's so crazy. And even down to when I'm in those meetings for background, I'm like, non-binary, mass presenting. We don't need 2 people at a table. Let's have 6. People go out, Asian, let's, you know what I mean? I'm like, there are big parties of people. Let's just fuck it up, because you guys know we need to work in order to have health insurance. So if there's no diversity in TV, then we don't get to take care of our bodies. But we got to show up and tap dance and be happy clown and improv a line to make it sound like the way like a Puerto Rican or a black person would actually say that. No. Have a Puerto Rican or black writer. And so I'm really proud. I'm really proud that we got to do it, because it's like my friend Jordan Carlos told me before I had kids, he's like, man, them kids are coming. And when you have kids, you're going to start to parent yourself. And I was like, I thought that meant don't be hungover all the time. I didn't know what that meant. But it's really like, leave it better how you found it, right? And so I'm just like, if my kids do anything in life, I want them to know that they should speak up for people that can. Don't be a resume snob. Help people, hold the door open. Look behind, how can we make this better together? Everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves to fuck up and come back if they don't know. Yeah. Sometimes the best education is just being thrown in to see if you can sink or swim.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like it's also sort of going to what you said, that idea of representation, it does matter. And I think in this industry, I remember I had longer hair, and I remember it, and I miss it. No, but I had longer hair, and I was working on this show, and rather than hire a person of color to do my hair,
yeah,
they just asked if they could call the woman who does my hair when I'm not working. And it was like, you could just hire her, but this is the way that this business operates. You
Yeah.
could provide her an opportunity,
Yeah.
but rather than do that, you're just going to get her to consult for free. And I feel like so often that is the experience of so many people in this industry is, okay, yeah, we'll ask you for your expertise. We won't pay you for it, but we might ask you for it. And so I think being able to create a show that not only is speaking to your experience, but trying to also speak to the experience of others and including them in that conversation is key and is huge.
100% to make sure that everybody of all shape, shade, size feels taken care of when they walk in a room. When I meet with a stylist, or even when we're interviewing customers to dress me for the show, when they show me a deck of stuff that they were thinking and it'd be all skinny bodies, I'm like, does this shit even come in my size? Have you seen it in my size? We don't have the budget to make custom-made shit. Who are the designers? Who are the Black, brown, and queer designers who are making really fun, fat shit? Can you get in contact with him or them? Like, who are they? And why haven't you not even tried to find? I'm a size 18, 20. Why are you showing me a size 6? Have you ever been to the shoe store and you're like, I'm an 8, but they're like, we just have a 10? Bitch, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? So it's so important that people understand and get it.
Yeah. Thinking about that as you approach this season, you're tackling stories that I feel like you don't get to see as often on television. I'm thinking about Khalil has a journey that he goes on, and without spoiling too much, it's.
Yeah, let's spoil it at this point.
All right, yeah.
Come on, y'all. Just what you know.
He becomes Darth Vader.
Honestly, put it on and leave the house because I need those numbers. I need you to complete that show.
What I think about for all the characters this season, they all got to have their own journeys. Khalil being talking about mental health.
Yeah.
Peppermint gets to have a journey that you don't really get to see a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like when at one of the other panels, Peppermint was talking about just the experience as an actor that she's had of just not always having to sort of play the same roles and never getting to have this moment of finding love and being loved. And so I wonder if you could talk about, and even Marley, and thinking about just her experience of kind of sort of re-engaging with her identity and who she is and her sexuality. And so I wonder if you might talk a little bit about just going into season 2 and thinking about the journeys you wanted those characters to go on.
Yeah. So Peppermint is she's just awesome. She's a Black trans woman who is a drag performer. She was the first out trans woman on Drag Race. She was the first out trans performer on Broadway. You guys know it is scary to walk into a room and be the first. It's scary to walk into an audition and they're there to be on your side or whatever they tell us. Whenever someone tells me that, I'm like, yeah, and the spider is more scared of me too. Shut up. You know what I mean? But I'm just at this point, let's just have a key, right? Let's just keep it moving. But, I can't imagine what it's like for Peppermint. I mean, she often says statistically, I shouldn't even be alive. I'm one date away from being murdered. That's insane to me. And so again, once you have the opportunity, why not take that responsibility to use your platform for good? Because we can be funny. I'm funny as fuck, but let's make it important. Let's inspire. So thank you so much. Episode 6 is named The Category is Love, Bitch. And Peppermint gets married because trans people, queer people deserve love and a happy ending like all of us do. And so it's the show I want to see, but also the America I want to live in. And for Khalil, he in this season is really trying to figure out how he can support himself doing his art, but not be a sellout. and he's going through a lot of shit and doesn't know how to find a therapist. My friend Rashim, that this character is written after, like, Rashim had throat cancer. It was like a big deal and a shock for us. And, he's fine now, but dating was different for him. Everything was different. And he had this block. He couldn't create. He didn't want to. He didn't want to talk to anybody. I'm like, you need to see a therapist. He doesn't even like to eat in public, let alone, he never uses public bathroom. No, truly, we've been to every carnival. He holds will hold his shit for 3 days. And I'm like, you have to talk to somebody. And so, and even I was very inspired by Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Oscars. I'm like, these two very successful black men who have the access to all the resources ever for all of time still can't get it together. Why? Like, let's make it a safe space and a fucking conversation. Also, Weebay, is that his name? Hassan Johnson, right? Is that the character he played on Wyatt? Weebay? Weebay. Thank you so much. Like, look, every day feels like a panic room. I have 6-year-old twins, okay? Yeah, and natural deodorant. What am I doing? I smell like really bad parsley at Whole Foods. Anyways.
But your nails look great.
Oh my, these are press-ons.
Those, yeah.
I put these on in the car. These are glued till I die. Also, I had to pick up my dog's shit with and I was like, in the bag though. And I was like, this is a shitty Russian roulette. But anyways. Is this being filmed? This is a good time to ask.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know.
I hope. Oh, fuck. I'm spilling tea.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, my. Thank you so much. I love a good post moment. But yeah, I thought it was like really important to see a black man work through his shit. Because I don't see it a lot. What I see is a lot of reality TV where people are arguing with their shirts off and in lashes. And you know what I mean? It's like, we got dressed up to argue. This is crazy. I want to see joy. I don't want to feel anxious and tired after I watch this shit. And so I'm like, what is this? And I thought it was really important. Hassan Johnson, who was very New York, I think it's very important to see people with different accents, who are educated, who can do some shit, And for Marley, that was written after my friend Terry, who I met at MVC when I used to edit there back in the day before you were born. 2001, Justin Bieber, all the Justins were teeny tiny. And I remember seeing her move through the newsroom and just boss like these white men around. I'm like, god damn, that's and nobody was doing it. She had her little Halle Berry bob cut, and her pleated pants and whatever, and she was just like, real motherfucker, and just like cussing at people. I was like, this is amazing. This is the working girl I want to see. And so, yeah, and I watch a lot of TV, and I'm like, if I don't see it, then like we have to figure out how to show it. You know what I mean? And 191 countries is not nothing. I think it's very important to see a very successful, rich black woman, educated, boss people around, but still go to the club, play spades, do her thing. And now also is on this like journey of like, what does it feel like when I don't have to live for anybody anymore? I could just do me. And I think, that sexual journey of being bisexual or whatever it is for you is like, it's such a beautiful, nuanced conversation that I don't think enough people have with themselves because everyone's so judgy. Like, what's the label? What's the label? And sometimes it's a spectrum. It's like, how does this person make me feel? And maybe I just like, fuck around and find out. You know what I mean? And, and there's this scene in episode 5, you got to watch it, where Marley has this orgasm that like makes her feel safe and vulnerable. And she's never allowed to feel that way. She's always supposed to make the decisions and be the bad bitch. And it's like, what happens when these like two alpha women come together, and try to hear each other out? I don't know. I love this season so much. I really feel like I got to do everything I wanted to do. There was one thing I wanted to do that I didn't do, but everything else I did.
What was the one thing?
Okay. Yeah, I think, I mean, honestly, the one thing I couldn't crack was how to talk about war.
Yeah.
So, and we're in it,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're always going to be in it.
Yep.
And what does that look like? And for me, comedy happens when I'm on the other side of the pain, but I feel like we're in the pain right now. So, like, yeah, that's the one thing I couldn't crack.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as the one person who said speak it, hopefully, yeah, we will speak into existence a season 3 and and
Oh my God! That would be so nice.
yeah. And I want to thank you for taking some time today.
Is that it?
This is yeah.
Oh
We're
my
gonna
God!
wrap
Are we
it
getting
up.
questions from the audience?
No.
What are you talking about? This is it?
No.
Robbie, there's no questions from the audience?
I was told not to let them speak.
Holy shit!
I was not told that. I was not told that.
Did you see them? Oh
know,
no!
they were
Where's
like-
the comment box?
It was like the
Wait, can I
WGA has to come and write their questions, and then no.
Well, I just have a question for Cassie, my stand-in. Because you were my stand-in for First Wives Club, season 1 in New York. The other 2 seasons were in Atlanta. And then also both seasons on Survival of the Thickest. What did you learn, if anything, being on set all day, watching us try to make our day?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I come from theater,
Yeah.
so what I
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Oprah. Come on, Phil Donahue. Thank you so much. A gentleman and a scholar.
thank you. Well, what I learned from being your stand-in, as I was saying, I come from theater, and as I was making my transition into film and TV, I fell into standing in because it felt more like theater. And what I enjoy about being a stand-in is doing the lines and listening and taking the notes from, say, Video Village, because they want to hear something different and play around with us as actors and stand-ins so that they can have the actors who are going to be on camera do it for real.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was such a wonderful way to collaborate, and which is what I'm used to from doing a lot of theater. So I love it.
Yeah.
And people sometimes hate it, and I'm like, you can hate it, I'll do it. It's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
health insurance and pension.
Yeah. No, truly.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, how old am I?
And how
I
fun
need
was
that.
it to see all the diversity on set, though?
Listen, diversity, we had so much fun. I was like, this is the neighborhood because I live down the street.
Yeah.
I never left the neighborhood.
Yeah. Love.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
think it's so important to fucking have fun. And all the things that you feel like are annoying, man, you better start embracing that shit. Because that is the shit that's going to make you better.
Yeah.
And then nobody could tell you, they can't tell you shit because you've already done it. They ask you something and be like, I know, I've done it. It's terrible for other people, but I love it. Wow, what a gift. You guys, I'm going to wear this outfit tomorrow. None of people have seen it.
Yeah.
Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for supporting.